Hello people watching the third time lucky stream right now. I hope that you're doing well. Now, to be honest with you, I had a plan. I had a really nice plan of what I wanted to do. I was going to make a little mini song. I was going to do something nice. And hopefully for the next time that this does happen, I will do that for you. But like Central C said, commitment issues. But I could not be fixed, unfortunately. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this time right now, as you're kindly watching on the stream, to talk to you about maintaining goals and talking about kind of just expectations versus reality of things. Now, myself, I personally have an issue with trying to do too much and end up doing nothing. And maybe it's something which is on in my brain, where quite frankly, I try and do so much where I end up being very, I'd say incompetent when it comes to doing basic menial tasks. And I'm going to talk to you as if I'm talking to myself. So maybe you can have an insight of what I am really going to be talking to myself to try and fix myself. All right. If you can relate to any of these issues, it could be something very simple, like you can do a to-do list, and you can sit there and be like, okay, one thing I've got to do for the day, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you don't do those things, you can start to be quite harsh on yourself, because I am. But in order to be very productive, doing a to-do list it's just a standard. You can make sure that you look back on your day and you think, right, I've been productive, I've done these things. If you're a person who feels like you have issues with productivity, the first thing I would do to recommend would be to do a to-do list. The second thing will actually to make sure that you can have a good balance between your downtime and your time which you are working. If you're working into hours way past like what you should be when you're tired, I can tell you now for a fact that you'll start to burn out. Last year when I was streaming probably about 12 hours a day, or anywhere between 6 to 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, and I burnt out heavily. I saw my biggest growth on Twitch at that time, but I also had the biggest deterioration of mental health during that time because I just wasn't looking after myself. I was sitting down behind a computer and I was streaming, which I really love doing, and I still do, but I find myself battling myself with motivation to do so, to get back to that. So essentially what I'm trying to do with this little speech and talk to you is just to be kind to yourself. Sometimes it's okay to take time off, and sometimes it's okay to not have to just directly strive straight towards your goals, because ultimately you will get there if you are doing the right things to get there, but you won't get there if you put so much pressure on yourself to make sure that you have to reach those goals. I think a lot of people do forget that you have to be kind to yourself, and you need to really take time to actually make sure that you're nourishing yourself mentally as well as physically, and doing the things and practicing self-care in the way that we will say that other people should do. So look after yourself more, love yourself more, and I hope that me signing this out will help you look at yourself and think, you know what, I'm going to have a macaroni cheese tonight, and I'm just going to sleep well.